in the correct standards. And this was way back the year 2024, Mr. Speaker. And to date, unfortunately, for these members of the society, they have not received their dues. One in particular is in the Department of Health, Mr. Speaker, that we had a project that was completed and the contractor signed off in November of last year, Mr. Speaker. The contractor was paid, money is amounting to almost 6 million, Mr. Speaker, but to date, the PMC dues, which are almost or less than 100,000, Mr. Speaker, have not been facilitated to the project management committee members, Mr. Speaker. And I wish if I wish if the honorable member, Mr. Speaker, would allow members to have the speaker have full attention.
A very urgent matter which needed to be sorted, but you can proceed.
Fair enough. You see, Mr. Speaker, when we address the chair. So it's prudent enough for the chair to also be attentive when members are contributing, Mr. Speaker.
Because I don't want the shame of us going to celebrate a project when the technical people were paid. The contractor was paid. There was money for outreach. And that thing that they are coming to launch, they will use that money for outreach. How comes that the PMC's money has not been found? Our PMCs children of a lesser God? So I will stand by that. Any project of the 7 or 6 projects that I've seen in the schedule to be commissioned in my ward, any that the PMC is not paid will wait until they are paid. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable members, I also need to make a comment before we proceed. And it's so sad because the majority leader is not here, because he's the one who shared the commissioning schedule, which I haven't checked because I never thought it could have passed through the clerk or the speaker, and it's received and stamped and shared. So I would have wished the majority leadership, for those in the leadership, I have not seen them, all of them, but Honorable Maneno is here. I can excuse you for around 5 minutes or 1 minute to confirm the authenticity of that communication. Because the raising concerns all honorable members and we cannot proceed. What is it, Honorable Maneno? Mateso? Who is in the gallery? No, I wanted to make a communication so that as you proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I just want to give my comments on the statement by the Honorable Member for Emali. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Teso, so you didn't want me to give a direction before you speak?
Yes, just that.
Then proceed.
Mr. Speaker, on the issue of PMCs, this is very clear that we will not agree for any commission on projects that PMCs have not been paid. These people are paid peanuts, and they sacrifice so much, Mr. Speaker. A project may take like 2 months or 3 months, Mr. Speaker, yet the PMCs are, this is very little money. You'll find a project has been cleared, inspected, and all is paid, except the PMC. A project that was done 2 years ago, and those people are still waiting for their payments. Mr. Speaker, this cannot be accepted. The Committee of General Oversight, let it take action on this and bring the people concerned here. We roast them here on the floor of the House. Thank you.
Thank you. I wish to give 2 other members so that we can get direction from the majority leadership in the House. So Honorable Jackson Dolo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me also join my colleagues on the issue of PMC and also the issue of commissioning of projects in our ward. Mr. Speaker, I looked at all the projects which has been aligned for commissioning tomorrow. And all the projects, the PMCs have not been paid, Mr. Speaker. I understand the contractors were paid, and our people who have worked tirelessly, day to day, to oversee the implementation of the project, they were not paid. Mr. Speaker, I remember in this house, we agreed every project that has been done, before the contractor is paid, let the PMC also be paid. Today, we are seeing a breach of what we agreed. Mr. Speaker, we are seeing a breach of what we agreed. And this honorable house, Mr. Speaker, with your direction, Mr. Speaker, is what my colleague has alluded. We need to hold capable the CEOs or the accounting officers, the ECM also, who has allowed contractor to be paid and the PMC have not been paid. This house, with your direction also, Mr. Speaker, you need also to direct that any project that has been aligned for commission to be stopped, Mr. Speaker. Because there is no way we can go to brag that we have done a good project, and those who have supervised, those who have oversighted the project during that time of implementation are crying, Mr. Speaker. We will have failed. Let them be paid, then they should now make a proper plan, proper schedule, where all these members are involved. Mr. Speaker, when you look at all those projects, these honorable members here, in every ward, they are involved in allocating the money. In fact, some of them have helped the community in initiating the projects. But now, when we have done that, we have passed the budget, now during commissioning, we are left out. We are not informed, Mr. Speaker. This is not allowed, Mr. Speaker. So I would like you, with your own wisdom, to give direction on these two issues, which are very, very key to this House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Maniki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm a member of the Devolution Committee, and I can recall very well that a statement relating to this issue was brought to this House, Mr. Speaker, and as a committee, we handled the matter conclusively, and we gave our findings and recommendations, Mr. Speaker. And as Chair said, it was PMCs who were not paid then were supposed to be paid within 14 days. And Mr. Speaker, I'm wondering how, when we do a lot of work as a committee, Mr. Speaker, because we invited the CEO, we invited the ECM, devolution, and we agreed the names of the PMC who are not paid were brought to the committee. And I think they were supposed to be paid. Mr. Speaker, we were being given so many reasons, like we are waiting for supplementary budget when the project was completed and the contractor was paid. Mr. Speaker, it is saddening because when the contractor is looking for money, Mr. Speaker, some members of these PMCs are looking for food. Mr. Speaker, which is, Mr. Speaker, I think we are not giving service. We are not serving the citizens, more so the executive, Mr. Speaker. And sometimes when we used to have government, Mr. Speaker, that time when we used to have government, projects were being commissioned, the governor,
Honorable Maniki,
the ECM,
Honorable
and
Maniki,
the member
Honorable Maniki,
of that ward, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Maniki, you are totally out of order. What do you mean when you used to have government? You mean now you have no government? And you are sitting in an assembly within a government.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, sorry,
No,
Mr.
you need
Speaker,
to-
I withdraw
you
that
need to
statement.
withdraw that.
I withdraw, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to say this. Mr. Speaker, I'm on the floor.
You must have decorum in this house.
I'm on the floor.
You must apologize. You must apologize. Honorable Maniki, please, I've directed Honorable Maniki
Mr. Speaker, I
to
withdraw.
apologize
I
and
withdrew
proceed.
the statement. Apologize. I cannot apologize. For what? I'm contributing, my friend.
Why are you withdrawing?
I am contributing, my friend. And this issue of shouting, Mr.
Order,
Speaker.
honorable members.
Mr. Speaker, I'm informing this house.
Order, honorable members.
I was doing that to
Order,
see,
order,
to
order, Honorable
gauge the
Maniki.
mood of the people. Mr.
Order,
Speaker.
Honorable Maniki.
And if we proceed,
Order, Honorable
like this, Mr. Speaker, if we proceed like this, Mr. Speaker, then these statements will continue coming.
Honorable Maniki,
That's my information.
please.
I'm advising free of
You
charge,
need
Mr.
to
Speaker.
withdraw that statement. You need to withdraw. If you don't withdraw, I'll find you totally out of order.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not withdrawing. Because I did withdraw. Now you are telling me to withdraw what?
Honorable Maniki, you have clearly stated when you used to have government, and you confirmed to me. Clearly, you are to withdraw, and you have done, and you say when you used to have government. And I asked you a simple question. You mean we don't have government? And you said what? It's on hazard. Proceed and tread carefully, please.
Honorable Speaker, I withdraw that part of the statement.
Thank you, and then you can proceed and have your seat.
But I beg honorable members
Proceed
to
and
take
have
my
your
hand device,
seat.
Mr.
You have
Speaker.
withdrawn.
Mr. Speaker, I urge honorable members to take my hand device because I've given it free of charge
Proceed and have your seat.
from a clean heart. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Honorable Manen, on behalf of the government, before I read an instructions which were given by the speaker, then we conclude the matter.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir. First of all, I want to, Honorable Speaker, yes, we have a government in place. Mr. Speaker, I seek your attention. And Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, what I wanted to say is that, yes, we have seen something to do with the commission of projects on WhatsApp. And Mr. Speaker, relax. Mr. Speaker, I want to inform Honorable Maniki that. All right. Thank you.
Proceed from the government point of view.
Mr. Speaker,
What about the commission?
Mr. Speaker, I want to say this. We have seen some communication on social media. And Mr. Speaker, you know very well how we receive our communication. All our communications, they come through the Speaker of this House, or through the clerk. And Mr. Speaker, the information that we received on commissioning of the project, according to the members, it has not been communicated well. And that is why even yesterday we received another communication on changing on the dates of the commissioning. And Mr. Speaker, secondly, commissioning a project who the PMCs have not been paid is unacceptable. And I will agree with the members on that the projects that are being commissioned or are aligned to be commissioned, they should not be commissioned until their PMCs have been paid. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. That is all what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I also wish to bring the attention of the Honorable Member that report of the Committee on Devolution on Non-Payment of PMCs was adopted on 8th October 2024. And a letter was sent to the Executive Committee member on Finance and Devolution on same date, 8th October 2024, and copied to His Excellency the Governor, the Deputy Governor, the CS, all CEOs, Chair Implementation, and Chair Devolution. So, honorable members, as now we proceed, and there were also recommendations from the Committee on Devolution, the ECM Devolution, Public Participation, County Administration and Special Programs, and ECM Finance and Socio-Economic Planning should give a report within 14 days after adoption of this report as to why the County Treasury Circular Number 04 of 2023-2024 to all accounting officers on the guidelines on payment of PMCs and provision for monitoring and evaluation was not adhered to. That was recommendation number 5. And recommendation number 6, the accounting officer in each department should pay all PMCs within 14 days after the adoption of this report. And a letter was immediately done to the ECM, the County Assembly resolution on the report of the Committee on Devolution, and a letter was all done to that effect, and it was all received. So, members, as now we proceed, we are finding the executive actually not taking the resolution and directive of this assembly not actually in order. And we will summon, we want to be clear, because the circular was from the CEC Finance, circular number 4 of 2023-2024, to accounting officers, which they should have implemented the payment on all PMCs. And it's cutting across. It's not specific to Emali, it's not specific to Bitini, not to Kadonzweni, even to Mutitwandei. That's a matter we are finding, and we find the accounting officers not implementing. So because they were given 14 days, which they never implemented, I now direct that the C Finance, within the shortest time possible, to be written a letter to appear on the committee of the whole House. Thank you. Thank you, members. Can we proceed to the next order?
Order number 5, papers.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, due to public demand and on the social media, that yesterday we discussed and altered the payments of the teams that participated in Digi Mashinani. And Mr. Speaker, the Speaker directed that the report to be brought to this House tomorrow at 2:30. Mr. Speaker, due to public demand and due to the planning of the games that will be played on Saturday this weekend and Sunday, and the events that should happen on Friday on marking of the fields, Mr. Speaker, I kindly request your favors, Mr. Speaker, you direct the Committee on Gender and the Sports to bring that report today at 2:30, Mr. Speaker, so that we can discuss it, so that, Mr. Speaker, no one who will hide behind the tables or under the tables, that to allude that the County Assembly altered this process, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Bernard. And I also wish to remind you, a directive was given yesterday that the CC Sports, Gender, Children, Sport, and Social Services to appear before the committee today at noon. Is appearing at noon here, and all interested members have been invited. So please proceed and join the committee at noon. Please, I saw direct. On what? I've directed. No, I've given a direction. So, can you proceed to the next matter, please? Next order. Chairperson Committee on Youth Services to table the report on the status of implementation of the recommendation, his report on the construction of Mboni Sub-County Hospital Isolation Center in Mboni Ward.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly, the report of the Committee of Services on the status of implementation of the recommendation in the report on the construction of Mboni Sub-County Hospital Isolation Center in Mboni Ward. I lay.
Pardon, Chair Health, please.
I've laid the second paper. I've laid the first on board.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah.
Chairperson Committee on Lands. Table the committee. I'm informed you have another one. Yeah, just proceed with the other one. Thank you. Now, Chairperson Committee on Lands. Where is Honorable Mateso? You want in the house? 1 minute. Then, as Honorable Mateso is organizing his office, Chairperson Committee on Trade. Mateso, if you are ready, Honorable Mateso, if you are ready, you can proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly. The ARP yearly progress report on the Committee on Lands and Urban Planning Development and Development for period July to December 2024. I lay.
So, members, as we agreed, when you lay, as usual, you table the report. If you don't have the report, you just say you don't have the report. You can be tabling, because once you table, we share to honorable members so that they can have an opportunity to go through it. Chairperson, County Public Accounts Committee. No, Chairperson, Committee on Trade, Marketing, Industry, Culture, and Tourism. Chair, or the Vice Chair. I'm a member of the committee. Members of the committee, proceed, Honorable Esther. Are you a member? Proceed then.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly. The half-yearly progress report of the Committee on Trade, Marketing, Industry, Culture and Tourism for the period July to December 2024. I lay.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Then Chairperson, Committee on County Public Accounts Committee, Honorable Kimongo, proceed.
I wish to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly. The half-yearly progress report of the Committee on Public Accounts for the period July to December 2024. Thank you.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Chairperson, Committee on Health Services. Give the two notices.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to give the following notice of motion. The Assembly adopts the report of Committee on Resources on the status of implementation of recommendations in this report on the construction of Mboni Sub-County Hospital Isolation Center in Mboni Ward, laid in the table of this House on the 4th March 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also beg to give the following notice of motion that this Assembly adopts the report of the Committee of Resources on the status of implementation of recommendation is report on the public petition by the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers regarding the disregard of the court orders on the prolongation of clinical officers strike laid on the table of the House, this Assembly on 4th March 2025.
Chairperson, Committee on Lands, Urban Planning and Development. Make a request on your mic.
Mr. Speaker, I pray that you confirm what it is, because what I have is a motion.
To give a notice of a motion for the adoption of committees for the half-yearly progress report on the period July to December 2024.
Okay.
So you have so many reports, so they are confusing you.
No, two. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And I hope
Mr. Speaker, I
paper.
beg to give a following notice of motion that this committee adopts the half-yearly progress report.
This assembly.
This assembly adopts the half-yearly progress report of Committee on Lands and Urban Planning Development for the period July and December 2024, laid on the table of the Assembly for March 2025.
Committee on Land, Committee on Trade, Marketing, Industry, Culture and Tourism.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give following notice of motion that this Assembly adopt the half-year progress report of the Committee on Trade, Marketing, Industry, Culture, and Tourism for the period July to December 2024, laid on the table of the Assembly on 4th March 2025.
Chairperson, Committee on County Public Accounts Committee.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion that this Assembly adopts the half-yearly progress report of the County Public Accounts Committee for the period July to December 2024, laid on the table of the Assembly on 4th March 2025.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Chairperson, Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Cooperative Development to respond to the statement as was requested by the member for Kikumbulu South Ward regarding the operations of plowing and reaping tractor of the Kikumbulu South Ward. The chair, the vice chair, is absent. Also, the honorable member is also absent. So So the honorable member for Kikubudu South should also be informed that his statement is it ready from the Committee on Agriculture? So that we can make a communication. Member for Committee on Agriculture? Members, Committee on Agriculture in the Assembly? Is the report ready or there is no member today? So the matter is deferred until it's sorted. I wish also to direct that it comes again at tomorrow at 2:30, so that the committee should take note, and also the honorable member should be informed. The statement is also coming. Chairperson, Committee on Infrastructure, Transport, Public Works, Housing and Energy, to respond to the statement as it was requested by the member for Kilungu Ward regarding the impossible status of the Kivani Road in Kilungu Ward.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The Speaker, yesterday that matter was addressed, and the committee had requested that we respond next week on Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you. The member for Kilungu? That is fine for you?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is what we agreed yesterday, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Chair? Chair? To another mic, please. It has, huh?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the report has been ready, but the member has been missing the plenaries. So, Mr. Speaker, you can direct.
So we divide to tomorrow, 2:30, and also the table of notify the honorable member for Nguma Sumba Ward. So the statement is also coming up tomorrow at 2:30. Chairperson, Committee on Lands, Urban Planning and Development, to respond to a statement as requested by the member for Emali Mulala Ward regarding the report of the plot validation exercise conducted in Emali Old Town.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I need your indulgence on this report. It's a voluminous report. We had given the member time to go through it, so that now we can now hear from him whether he went through it. Otherwise, it may take a lot of time to go through it here. So I don't know what you advise.
Chairperson, the report is not only meant for the honorable member for Emali.
So that is why I seek your indulgence, Honorable Speaker.
So you can proceed where you feel the assembly need to know. What you feel the assembly doesn't need to know is at discretion. However, members might even request to provide more information on the report. So please,
Mr. Speaker,
proceed as
I can summarize and then
give a summary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I raised to give a response to the statement requested by Honorable Member Cosmas Kaleli, the MCA for Emali Mulala Ward, on 9th October 2024 regarding plot validation exercise conducted in Emali Old Town. Mr. Speaker, in his request, the Honorable Member indicated that in the year 2021, the National Land Commission, in collaboration with the government of Makueni, conducted a plot validation exercise of plots in Emali Old Town, aiming at identifying what action has the department taken to correct the cases of double or more plot allocation, and when is this would be done? And on HH, what was the department's commitment towards ensuring availability of ownership documents with our titles to the plot owners? Mr. Speaker, the committee wrote to the ECM, Lands and Urban Planning and Development, Climate Change on 9th October 2024, requesting for information on the issues raised in the statement. Mr. Speaker, the ECM, through a letter dated 4th October, is attached, responded as follows. A, whether the department was aware of such plot validation exercise conducted in collaboration with the National Lands Commission. If yes, provide the status report of the exercise. The ECM indicated that the department carried out plot validation and verification and validation exercise in Mali in the year 2021 through a consultancy firm, Salute Spatial Solutions. In collaboration with the National Land Commission, county government department staff, and the sub-count and the representatives from the community, that is the PMC. The ECM has provided the report that was conducted at the end of the exercise. It is attached. Then on B, list of members of the joint committee as well as the list of members of the PMC. The ECM indicated that the exercise involved representatives from our main groups, namely, Group A was the National Lands Commission, National Land Commission Count Coordination Office. Group B was the government of Makueni County staff based at the sub-count at that time. C, the other group was the Peace Corps Planning Consultants. That was the consultants who was doing the job, Salute Spatial Solutions. And Group D was a Project Management Committee, the PMC, comprising of the following members. Number 1, Dominic M. Madeka, who is a male, elected position is a chairperson, representative, market committee. Number 2 was Dorothy Zomo, who was the vice chair from the Malikiti. 3 was James M. Mudoka, who was a member representing the Emali plot owners, West. Number 4 was Boniface Wambua, secretary, who was representing the youth. Number 5 was Veronica Dean Mutoa, vice secretary, who was representing the Emali plot owners, East. 6 was Magdalene Denge, a member representing women and other groups. 7 was Reverend Samuel M. Tama, who was a member representing the Muslim. By 8 was Shaban W. Katiwe, who was a member also representing the Muslims. And 9 was Simon M. Kimunyi, a member who was representing the PWD. C, whether there was dispute reported during the plot validation exercise, and if list down all the disputes captured, including the parties involved. The ECM indicated that the conclusion of the exercise, a total of 52 cases were recorded, and each handled by the team. The ECM indicated that a report on dispute resolution and the recommendation to the dispute recorded was prepared. Is attached on Annex 14 in this report. Number 9, provide a joint committee recommendation concerning the reported dispute areas, case by case. A report on the dispute resolution and the recommendation to the disputes recorded as prepared and is attached also in Annex 14 in the report, enumerated during the time period 24th March to 9th April 2021. The breakdown of the enumerated plots is shown in Chapter 4 of the attached report. On F, whether there were cases of double or more plot allocation in the old town. If yes, provide the list of all the plots with double or more allocation and parties involved in each plot. Cases of multiple owners were part of the disputes recorded. The attached plots validation and verification report provided a summary of disputed plots and their respective disputes. It is attached on page 31. It is from page 31 up to page 35 of this report. You can check on that. G, what actions has the department taken to correct the cases of double and more plot allocation, and when this would be done? The ECM indicated that the department has engaged the National Land Commission in solving matters related to multiple ownership in our major towns, Emali included. That was the department. What was the department committed towards ensuring availability of ownership document titles to the plot owners? The ECM has indicated that the department has set aside a budget to undertake cadastral surveys for issuance of ownership document for Emali. Then financial year 2024-2025, the process will be carried out in collaboration with the National Land Commission in identifying the beneficiaries and subsequently issue allotment letters. The process will also solve any pending double allocation claims. Mr. Speaker, I hope I've just summarized the report, but all the details are attached in this report, Mr. Speaker, and I feel that is a very comprehensive report that will help the people of Emali, Mulala. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Emali.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I take this opportunity to thank the committee. At least they have done something. And that's why we have this report. Mr. Speaker, on question number 1, because the concern was whether the department is aware of that exercise. Sure, they are confirming back 2021, plot validation exercise was carried on in Emali. This is the 5th year, Honorable Speaker. They are confirming incompetence because the report was there since then, but up to date, the report has not been communicated to the consumers who are the plot owners. Because I understand before any activity is carried, there must be an objective. The objective of this report, or the purpose of intended to be solved after this report, has not been done, Honorable Speaker. And it's unfortunate that the committee has just, the department actually, because they have postally responded to the committee that they are aware. Honorable Speaker, I have just seen some element where the committee did not synchronize very well, because at least, even in the list, we can see 2 in the response who participated. We have the national government, Land Commission, the county government of Makueni staff at sub-county level, the physical planning department, and the project, the PMC. Actually, in the PMC, I've just learned that number 8, whereby number 7, the Reverend Samuel Tama, who is a reverend, is indicated to have been representing the Muslim maybe it might be a typing error. However, Honorable Speaker, the committee should now come up with a report giving instructions to the department on the action plan, on timelines to implement what has been captured in that report. Because yes, since 2021, we have a report. Those purposes, the double allocation, the conflicts, which has led to underdevelopment of the Mali town, has not been settled. The action plan after the report. That is number one, Honorable Speaker. So I wish the chair could have brought a report.
No, Honorable Member, it was a request for a statement. And I'm keenly following what you requested for. So if you have auxiliary questions you need to ask, just proceed and do that in an orderly manner. Because I'm reading very carefully. Now you are raising other issues which you never raised, please.
Yes,
with all due respect, Honorable Member.
The confirmation
so
from
you want further information?
Actually, action plan.
Yes. Then
we want
that
recommendation.
Because you never requested for that.
Mr. Speaker, we have number E, which was very specific. E was very specific about how many public utilities. You can see it has been evaded. There is no clear response on the public utilities. Actually, Appendix 8, which is giving the response, it is a blank. In Appendix 8, we have nothing. There is no attachment on that document. So where we are being referred by the department concerning the public utilities, they evaded that part. So it is not responded, Honorable Speaker. The Speaker, on G, the department is talking about engagement with land. Yes, right from the one go, we can see A of those who are involved with the Minister of Lands and the National Land Commission, Honorable Speaker. Then what is the evidence of the engagement? For what period would the department require to engage? Now that is 5 years down the line, because they are saying they will be engaging. I wish the committee now can help me from the department by giving specific timelines on how we should deal with that matter. Honorable Speaker, H, they are talking about the cadastral pay, whereby there is allocation in the year 2024, 2025, 2024-25 financial years. We are on our third quarter. A cadastral survey is not a one-day event. I haven't seen intentions. We haven't had. And even the public doesn't have the report. So the Speaker, again, I would request fast-tracking of the cadastral surveys by the department. Mr. Speaker, there is what we call value for money. You can see how many teams were involved and gauge what level of allowances were utilized. But still, we have no results of the exercise. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I presume that we should be realistic. We should now solve the problem so that we can allow the residents, the investors, the plot owners in Emali Mulala, in Emali town specifically, can now develop their plots. Because if a plot has 2, 3, 4 ownership, it is multiply owned, none will develop that plot, Honorable Speaker. If a plot has disputes, if the disputes are not resolved, then there will be no development. This is holding development for the town, and my very humble request, Honorable Speaker, within very limited time, Honorable Speaker, I think you can give direction to the committee so that they can consolidate a report on the action plan on all those responses. And I'll appreciate on behalf of my people. And of course, I am sure my people will be very happy to see the end of this long-awaited report. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Judge Kalunda. What? But you are... I wanted to speak after this one is closed. Nobody is interested apart from you.
No, I'm saying this was in response to the next statement, before the next statement.
Chair, proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I've heard the concerns by the member, but Mr. Speaker, what you just responded to is the question as he had asked. But Mr. Speaker, I agree with him that this report should have been implemented. Mr. Speaker, 2021 up to now, Mr. Speaker, although now I know there was handing over of the government in 2022, I believe that is why this report was not being implemented, Honorable Speaker. But Honorable Speaker, because he has actually requested for more information, Mr. Speaker, I will not as the chair, and then we'll bring that extra response to him so that he can get everything clear, Mr. Speaker. Because this report the statement is as he had asked, Mr. Speaker, but those concerns are
Chair, he has raised a very serious concern on E, which you have said it's blank. No.
But he has requested to know the public utility. I agree that they were not able to give the public utility.
That is very critical.
Yeah, this is also very critical.
So the honorable member actually should have said the report is not satisfactory.
But on B, and now on the member who represents the Christian community, I think that is a right where because of putting the representative. That one, I hope you understand. But I agree with you.
No, what you write, it cannot be understood. You are doing a report for people who doesn't know those people. If the bishop represents the Islamic community, can bring friction in Mali. And we all understand that. So you wish to edit the report again?
Yeah, we can go ahead and maybe answer the questions from the...
Also, G? The member also raised concern on that? But Honorable Chair, I wish also you need to appreciate the role to be done by the national government and the minimal responsibility the county has on some matters. So you might even burden yourself for promising things which you will not do. Yes. You need to appreciate the national government has its own operations, and some officers you cannot even summon them, or you cannot invite them to give an explanation. Are you sure of that? So you are committing to take it up? Yes. Thank you. Yes. I thank you. Then on H, no, again, make a request on your mic. There's a problem with your mic, I don't know what. Make another request, I don't know why it's going off on.
Thank you. So Speaker, on H, what was the department's commitment towards ensuring availability of ownership document? That was titled this to the plot owners. And then the ECM has indicated that the department has set aside a budget to undertake industrial survey for issuance of ownership document in Mali. The process will be carried out in collaboration with the National Land Commission in identifying beneficiaries, subsequently issuance of allotment letter. Mr. Speaker, it is just the same thing as G.
How much budget? I'll set aside a budget. How much?
Okay, we need to.
Are you aware?
We can know the amount of budget that was
Are
set
you aware?
aside. I may not be aware.
No, are you aware?
But they have to define the budget, of course.
A simple question,
Yeah.
are you aware how much?
I am not aware, that is what I'm
Thank
saying.
you.
So, that is okay, Mr. Speaker. We've taken up the issues.
The honorable member for Mali, do you have anything? Because we need to give a direction based on the information you provide.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I thank you for understanding that statement perfectly. Honorable Speaker, I appreciate the chair when he says he will deal with the report in 7 days. My very humble request is that we bring it as a report within those 7 days, capturing time frames for each and every specific activity, ensuring that there is commitment from the department and providing evidences of communication, whether from the national government or which other department they wish to get information from. And also, Honorable Speaker, I wish they can be very specific and on matters of the public utilities, because that has not been responded to. We need the numbers. In the cadastral survey, I wish they could provide also a schedule, because we have only 1 quarter now for this financial year, and we know the challenges with the last quarter of the financial year. So they bring a schedule and an evidence of whether the department took back the report to the citizen or to the consumers of the report. For communication purposes, they must be very clear. So I wish, I appreciate the chair. I wish they can, maybe in their deliberation, they can have time and invite me for clarity on matters which they wish to sort to be very clear for them before the report is ready. So I thank you, Chair. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Chair. The issues raised by the honorable member are quite valid. And as he has made a request for you to convert the statement to a report, with those specific timelines you have committed to provide to the Assembly, and also ensure the honorable member is part of the report development, so that you bring a comprehensive report to this Assembly within the next 14 days. Thank you. What is it, Honorable Kalunda?
Honorable Speaker, my case is also similar to what the Honorable Member for Emali is requesting, because I have also very
similar in which sense? Are you on point of order?
It's a point of order, Honorable
Number?
I wish you indulge yourself in this, Honorable Speaker. One, because it's a statement which was presented to the Assembly some time back. And,
which statement? Because we need to.
I can't tell the number. It's about Makelenzoni in Kibwezi. I listened, and he talked of National Land Commission and also National Ministry of Land. And it is a problem, one, because they have not been able to action on whatever they had recommended in our report that time, Honorable Speaker. And I would wish to jog his mind so that he can help us, the people of Kikumbulu South, because our land in Makelenzoni is being grabbed, and now we are left.
We need
we are
to
left
track
yes.
the statement. When was it done?
It was done in 2022, late 2022.
We need to, so that we know the directives which were given then.
Yeah. I wanted him to help us, as he also responds to a Mali issue. he can jointly do it because they have an aspect of National Land Commission and also a national ministry. Because in Kibwezi, Makelenzuni, our land has been grabbed and people are now putting up structures there again, while the recommendations of the committee seemed not to have been followed. One, because as you have said, you need to appreciate the fact that the National Ministry and also the National Land Commission have a lot of role in that. He can also synchronize that with what Mali is doing so that they can help us as people of Kikumbulu South without me having to bring a substantial statement again to this assembly while they are still acting on the report, because my statement was converted to a report much later. I think that can be, and he is very conversant with that, and he knows the issues around Makelenzoni, and since he has been the chair, even when I was requesting this, Honorable Chair, Speaker, I think his memory will serve him right, and his committee can help the people of Makelenzoni and fast to stop, because they had even, the department, he came here and said the department had given some orders to stop any work around Makelenzoni land. And those are the issues, I think, within the 14 days, he can also come up with a report on the same. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I remember the name, and the statement actually came here, and it was actually responded, actually, Mr. Speaker. If there were other issues, I may not remember if there are issues of national government, but Mr. Speaker, it can be reverted and brought back so that we can check.
Not really, but then the Committee on Implementation can take up the matter.
Yes.
To ensure the recommendations which were done by the Committee on Land are implemented. Or you revisit the matter again.
We can
let the honorable member
him so that we can see the issues that he has raised. Because I cannot remember, I think it was a long time ago. I may not remember those issues, but we can revisit so that we can now see what was exactly to be done, because I can't remember.
So Chair, please, I request that you engage the honorable member.
Yes.
Through the committee, you revisit the statement and the report. You said it was going to a report. Then you can proceed.
I want him to come actually during the committee's meeting next week so that we can address the issues together.
It's fine. Thank you. And honorable member?
I cannot actually say he's saying the truth or he's saying what is wrong. Mr. Speaker, there are, Mr. Speaker, there are specific committees, selection panel, selection committee, selection panel, selection committee, somewhere. Mr. Speaker, I recommend that, and we proposed, Mr. Speaker, we were in the training in Mombasa, and we proposed that this committee should be chaired by somebody from the opposition. The Committee on Implementation, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable,
that is my information.
You are minority leader. You are boss in this assembly. Has failed to give direction. So, as the Secretary General, you need to deal with your leadership in the assembly
Mr.
so
Speaker,
that you can bring that agenda.
Mr. Speaker,
Thank you.
Be handled officially and to completion, Mr. Speaker. So I rest, but Mr. Speaker, I've given my information and my observation and my opinion, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
And I think this House agrees with that I'm saying.
Thank you. Honorable Cosmas, you cannot be shifting position the way you wish to have. So you need to stick to one direction. Because I left you this direction, now I'm finding you there. At the times when you close the floor, it means a lot. To who? To who?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Since you've asked us to even comment on the Committee on Implementation, the dysfunctional committee is because the members and the chairperson and the vice chair of the Committee on Implementation are not they are not properly addressed, Honorable Speaker, because they are for government. And for you to implement, you need to ask the government, and you will not be able to ask your government while you are the chair committee on implementation. And that's why we are failing as an assembly.
But Honorable Kalunda,
And that's
I've
why
heard you in this assembly,
we have said,
even as I'm supporting the government.
we have said, no, we support, but we support because we are supposed to support that time. But our role here as a minority, we can question a government because we are not in the government. Like Honorable Kisungi is the leader of government business.
That is clearly understood.
So we will not expect Honorable Kisungi to be questioning the government a lot. He will defend a lot to do with the government, Honorable Speaker. And that's why the Committee on Implementation and other committees, as I have been enumerated by the Honorable Member from Mavendeni, our Party Secretary General, it is very simple that we have this issue to do with the Committee on Implementation having failed because the chairperson and the vice chair of that committee come from the government side, Honorable Speaker. And we will not sit and clap as this assembly fails to do their roles, Honorable Speaker. So it is very prudent, Honorable Speaker, as this assembly, Honorable Speaker.
But earlier, I had given you an opportunity to say that, but you could not.
No, my issue
because you
that
not
time,
read the mood of
no,
the
my
assembly.
issue that time was so that you direct it to go to the Committee on Lands, where Honorable Mateso is well in charge of it. Now that Honorable SG for my party has highlighted that and enumerated the three committees, Honorable Speaker, we need to take our position in this assembly by making sure that the Committee on Implementation, the Committee on PIC and PAC are well vested under the leadership of the minority parties, Honorable Speaker. And we will do that within the shortest time possible. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I just wanted to pass information to this House, Honorable Speaker. I'm worried because the matter started as if something else, but it has come out very clear that the opposition party, that is Mongano, they are championing to be the chairs of Implementation Committee. Honorable Speaker, the Ashando government or the opposition, they are supposed to keep us on check. Even they should not even start saying we are the ones who are controlling the Implementation Committee, whereas they should have raised that matter a long time ago and punched us on what is happening with that committee. We have gone almost 2.5 years, almost 3 years now, is when they are bringing this matter up. I think they have smelled the rat or smelled the coffee, and Honorable Speaker, I think let us not argue about the leadership here on the committee, because the leadership of the government side is there, the leadership of the minority government is there. They are going to sit down and they come up with the matter before us. Thank you.
To the Assembly or to the Honorable Member? To
the outgoing chair of budget committee.
Honorable Kimongo, you want to introduce other matter?
No, I am just stating who I want to address.
No.
I mean, is it?
No. You want to introduce other matter. You want to shift the discussion to other matter. And a directive was done by the Speaker, and Committee on Selection is sitting. So you cannot address that matter.
But Honorable Speaker, the truth remains,
Honorable Kimongo, I need to guide you.
That?
Because you want to introduce other matter. I've said the Committee on Selection, which your minority will sit, and the minority will sit.
All right. To the good member, to the good member for Kakowaya.
Exactly. Now you can proceed.
Now I want to inform this member, good friend of mine, a pastor, that an issue will come at its opportune time. Even the matter that we've taken lengthy in discussing about PMCs, they were not paid, they were not supposed to have been paid yesterday. We are talking about months and years, but the moment, the opportune time when the member for Emali came for him to raise the matter is a moment when the matter came before the House and we've had a discussion on the same. On the same breath, an injustice that was done 3 years ago cannot just stay an injustice simply because it was done a long time ago.
Conclude.
At the highest opportune time, when that matter comes forth, it should be listened into. And it goes without saying that that is the way it should go. Because I worked on committees, and in the parliament, in the progressive parliaments, they are headed by the opposition. As simple as that, we should just accept that.
Thank you. Chairperson Committee on Agriculture, Irrigation, Livestock, Fisheries, and to respond to a statement as was requested by the member for Watensi Ward regarding the water tannery. Chair Agriculture.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this statement regarding the water tannery was brought to this House on the 6th of November, 2024. And during the 94th sittings of the County Assembly held on Monday, 14th October, 2024, the chairperson of the committee presented the response to the statement regarding water tannery for consideration. Then it was termed unsatisfactory as it did not single out the best option out of the options identified to operationalize the non-viable tannery. The chairperson of the committee was therefore directed to avail the best costed option for making use of the premise, clearly indicating a roadmap on how it will be put to use. Mr. Speaker, the committee did a letter to ECM dated 15th October 2024, requesting to be furnished with above information, and the executive committee member responded in a letter dated 17th October 2024, and there is attachment to that effect, and informed the committee as follows, that in the feasibility study conducted by the department, it indicated two options will need to be explored further for operationalization of the structure, namely, one, repurpose the tannery for training and skill development, and two, develop the site into a leather product production center. The executive committee member further indicated that a detailed feasibility study with the relevant technical experts will need to be carried out to determine feasibility of the proposed options. The report has since been forwarded to Cabinet for advice on the next course of action with regard to the tannery, and further, she requested the County Assembly to wait the outcome of the Cabinet decision on the matter before a roadmap is drawn on how the facility will be put into use. And during a consultative meeting with the Executive Committee member, she indicated that the Cabinet will finalize on the matter and respond to the County Assembly by mid-December 2024. Honorable Speaker, on the 21st of January 2025, there was an additional response to the same. And during the first sitting of the committee held on 14th January 2025, it deliberated on the matter and did a letter again to the Executive Committee member dated 15th January 2025, requesting to be furnished with information since they had agreed that they will sit down by mid-December as a cabinet. Then the response, the Executive Committee member responded in a letter dated 21st January 2025 and informed the committee as follows. In the department's response, that is reference GMC/AL FCG ECM/CA 04 Volume 5, dated 3rd of October 2024, it indicated that a feasibility study undertaken hereby, and there is an attached report with the title, Establish the Unviability of Water Tannery. And according to page 34 of the report, it states that if the county government was to operationalize the plant, the capital expenditure required on machinery, building, and waste treatment is Kenya shilling 55.49 million, while the operating costs will be a total of Kenya shillings 10.1 million for year one, against a projected revenue of Kenya shillings 5.4 million, resulting to negative return on investment of Kenya shillings 60.2 million. And according to the financial analysis, the plant would still give negative returns on investment in subsequent years, indeed throughout its lifespan. This is primarily due to the low capacity of the plant of 1 ton per cycle of 14 days as outlined in page 13 of the feasibility report attached. Further to this, the County Director for Environment, in a letter dated 30th December 2024, and it's already attached in the report, advised as follows, and quote, explore a different site location for development of the mini tannery to satisfy the economic viability of the project, sustainability, social acceptability, and the risk of pollution, all of which may pose greater risk and degradation of the environment, end of quote. Therefore, arising from the two advisories above, the cabinet decision therefore would be, it is not prudent for the county government to operationalize the project as it is. So, Honorable Speaker, the project is not viable, according to the report that came from the cabinet. Thank you.
Honorable Mateso, member for Zio Water Town. Press the button on the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's unfortunate that this statement has taken too long with a lot of stories and a lot of reporting, only to say that it's not viable. I saw it coming, and then they should have even mentioned that long time ago, Mr. Speaker. Instead of just taking a lot of time, Mr. Speaker.
Over 100 goats, 50 cows, and so forth. Nowadays, it's only one that you tether around, or two. When will you slaughter that goat and that cow? Unless on Christmas Day, or if you are blessed like me to slaughter on any Sunday. So, I mean, Honorable Mateo should accept that this project may not be so much viable as at now in a place like Water. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as much as I agree with my fellow member, I want just to. Okay.
Okay, I wanted to respond to
You address it.
I can respond.
How do I handle it?
It has a problem, this one.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Proceed, Honorable.
Honorable Speaker, I don't agree with the Honorable Member Kimongo because I never said it should be here in Water. I said look for an alternative land to do a viable tannery. That is what I said. Number two, you cannot say that we cannot have a tannery here because we can get skins from somewhere else and maybe do leather tanning and all that, Mr. Speaker. So we cannot say that we don't need a tannery in our account. It's something that we need. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Chair.
Honorable Speaker, I was just saying that I don't want to contradict what one of my members in the committee, Honorable Kimongo, has said, but I feel when he says that times are changing and we need to do away with the skins business and all that, the curriculum today.
So, Honorable
No,
Chair.
I'm coming to that, Honorable Speaker.
No,
I'm going
because
to
now
be
you are
very
bringing
brief.
an confusion
No.
within the committee's position.
No, it's not a
Was it a committee position or it was an honorable member's position?
It's not a committee really. So I was saying this, if we look at the advisory by the County Director of Environment, he's not saying that we cannot have a tannery, but he's saying that we can have a mini tannery and then explore a different site or location for the development of it. And we look at the economic viability of the project, the sustainability, and social acceptability. I think that's what Honorable Kimongo is saying, maybe not being very kind, but that is actually the position. So it is not like we are, as a committee, we are like dismissing the idea of a tannery, but yes, let it be there, but a mini tannery that will be profitable to our people and bring revenue to the government. And therefore, I think with more, research and more feasibility study and all that, Honorable Mateso, I believe this will be done. I know you'd really love it to be in your ward, but if it goes to another ward or another, you will still in Makueni. And we thank you, Honorable Speaker.
To look whether that communication was part of the recommendation you did.
Honorable Speaker, yes. If you look at the additional response that I have read and what actually we had presented on the 14th of October, and we were told it was unsatisfactory. We discussed as a committee, we wrote a letter to the executive committee member, and we discussed also with her on a one-on-one, and the idea of viability, that's where actually the ideas came from, because as a committee, we questioned. We questioned about the returns. We questioned about the output. We questioned about how much money is going to how much government money, how much money will get into this project and never get returns. And so the idea of viability also had first of all been communicated by the committee. The committee had it in mind. And when the cabinet sat, I think the recommendations of the committee were accepted. So we were part. And yes, it was a discussion.
I'm seeing where you
Honorable Speaker,
of the cabinet.
Honorable Speaker, I want you to...
You have not given us time, because the honorable member needs to be satisfied that you have given him hope. I'm reading where the cabinet will give direction.
Honorable Speaker, if you look at page 3,
I'm there.
The last paragraph, where they are giving, a breakdown of the capital expenditure required on machinery, building and waste treatment, which is to the tune of 55.49 million. And then the operating cost will be 10.1 million for the first year, against a projected revenue of 5.4. So this is a negative return, Honorable Speaker.
So, Honorable Member, just as we wait for the cabinet direction, we need to be guided, because the cabinet will engage, I think, the relevant technical people, technical departments. So within what time frame can we get that communication from the exam, so that we can now conclude the matter and wait for that direction? Because it might be not viable, but elsewhere it can be viable. And the options you gave, the site can be used for other things, which I'm also reading, there are those options. So give us a timeline.
14 days.
Where we wait for the 19?
14 days. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now the matter is concluded, Honorable Mateso. Then within 14 days, we'll get a communication from the committee. Then we can revisit the matter again, if possible. Chairperson, Committee on Water and Irrigation, to respond to a statement requested by the member from Zawi Glili Kalamba Ward regarding Kikuo irrigation scheme in Zawi Kilili Kalamba Ward. Chair or the Vice Chair and the Honorable Member, is the report ready?
Honorable Speaker, sir, the statement response on Kikuyu River is not ready, so we request for more time. We table a report on Monday since we did an oversight exercise on the same.
So on Monday, 2:30?
Yes, sir.
Then the Honorable Member for Zawi Kilili Ward should be notified. The statement will be coming up for the Assembly. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So take note of that, please. Chairperson, Committee on Health, to respond to the statement as was requested by the member for Ivengone Zambani Ward regarding the non-operationalization of the Ndongone Health Center inpatient ward. Chair.
I can see the requester is not in, but I was requesting you can put it next week and we finish it. With
Chair.
Yes.
First, is the report ready?
The report is ready.
Thank you. Then next week?
Next week.
When?
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Yes,
9:30?
9:30.
So the member for Ipingoni Zabani Ward should be notified?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next order.
Order number 8, motion. The report of the Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries, and Cooperative Development on the implementation of flagship projects under the Department of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries, and Cooperative Development conducted by the committee on 12th, 13th, and 14th of September 2024.
Chairperson, Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries, and Cooperative Development, to move the motion.
I want to request a few minutes and consult with the table office. Because I do not have the motion with me. Okay.
Can we go to the next order, please? We will revisit it again. We divide for now. Chair, I think you have consulted enough. All round.
Yeah.
Then.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, from the table office, I think the report is not ready, so can I request to bring the motion? The motion is not ready with them. So, yeah, that is the report I'm getting. I have to be honest. And therefore, I'm requesting that I will bring it in the afternoon session at 2:30.
So from where you sit as
Yes.
a chair,
Yes.
you did the report and you adopted it?
We did all that. Because
It's a motion.
It's
you
a
have
motion.
a complete report because we might wait it at 2:30 when it's not coming. Just hold on. We conclude with the chair. I will give you an opportunity, chair. Or you are not aware?
I'm not aware because
Thank you,
it will
thank you,
depend
thank
on
you.
the
Because you are not
table
aware, you
office.
cannot execute the matter further.
Exactly, yeah.
Any member of the committee who is aware of the position, the actual position? Thank you. What is?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in the order paper, there are sequences of orders to be followed, Mr. Speaker. And this report, I believe it was tabled. A notice of motion was given, and now it's a motion that is not ready. So I'm just surprised at which stage are we if the chair is not aware and the members are not aware.
The substantive chair is absent. So the committee might not know, they should not have been aware, but it's a clear call to all chairs and all committee members. Honorable members, I now wish to call the clerk to go to order number 10. Now, order number 10.
Order number 10, motion. The half-yearly progress reports of the Committee on ICT, Education and Internship for the period July to December 2024.
Chairperson, Committee on Education.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I beg to move the following motion that this Assembly adopts the report, the half-yearly progress report on the Committee on ICT, Education and Internship for the period in July to December 2024, laid on the table of the Assembly on 24th February 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to go straight to executive
Honorable
summary.
Majority Leader, please consult in law tones with Honorable Banati.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to go straight away to the executive summary. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under review, the committee held a total of 23 sittings from 8th July 24 to 14th December 2024. During the said period, the committee conducted the following businesses. Number one, considered the half-yearly progress report of the Committee on ICT, Education and Internship for the period in January to June 2024. Number two, considered the financial year 2023-2024 third quarter budget implementation report for the Department of ICT, Education and Internship. Number three, considered the report on the implementation status of the account assemblies resolutions of the third assembly. Number four, considered the report on the statement regarding the issuance of bursary of financial year 2023-2024 bursary in Kikumbilo North Ward. Considering the report on Makueni County Annual Development Plan, NDC 2023-2024, NDP 2023-2024 for the Department of ICT, Education and Internship. And finally, considering the report on financial year 2023-2024 Makueni County Supplementary Budget 1, estimates for the Department of ICT, Education and Internship. During this period, Mr. Speaker, there were certain achievements that were achieved by the department.